Hello everybody. Today I'm doing another little video. This one's a short one. It's a translation of a very short video that Sandy Aguilera did regarding what happened in Culiacan and how the Mexican people, especially the people from Culiacan, Sinaloa, feel about it, and what their take is, and how are the people responding and feeling about AMLO regarding what happened.
Mi prima me mandó esta foto.
So here she starts it off by saying, my cousin sent me this photo. And by the way, I'm going to add, this is where my family is from as well. I have my brother and many of my sister's kids live there. My grandparents lived there, and my aunts, my mother's sisters and brothers live there. So this is particularly close to my heart as well. And I feel the same way as well regarding what AMLO decided to do and how it affected us, the people from there, and people who have people there. And just so you know, this was very touching to me, and so I thought I needed to do this one. So she sent her cousin sent her this picture at a baseball game.
Con la ciudad aún en cenizas tras
So she said, with the city still in ashes after what
una de
happened,
las jornadas más violentas
with a confrontation that was one of the most violent
en años, los
in many years. Now, los colichis, that means people from Culiacan. That's what they call them. And that's what I guess my mother's side of my family, myself and my brothers and sisters were colichis.
culichis salieron a hacer lo que más nos gusta, ver el béisbol.
So she said the colichis went out to do what they love the most, to watch a baseball game.
En la Serie Mundial tiene dos rescates. Palo de Orozco. En la cara le dio la bola.
Oh, so that hit somebody in the face, the baseball did. That was Orozco, something about, well, anyway, it's something in the game.
Se acabaron los balazos, me dijo, y la gente.
So she told me that, she or he told me that the shooting had already stopped.
Gente salió a la calle.
And the people went out to the streets again.
Y me dio mucho gusto.
And I was very happy about that. And by the way, so was I.
Porque en todo el país podrán criticar la estrategia de seguridad.
Because in the whole country, they may criticize the strategy
Del gobierno federal.
of the federal government.
Podrán hablar de la falta de huevos del presidente por soltar.
They might talk about the lack of balls of the president
Hijo del capo. Podrán llamar
because he released the son of Chapo Guzman.
cobarde y decir que fracasó.
And there might be people who may say he's a coward and that he was a failure.
Podrán decir lo que quieran.
And they can say whatever they like.
Porque es muy fácil pedir sangre cuando.
Because it's very simple and easy to ask for blood when the dead are not from your family.
Los muertos no los pone tu familia.
And the dead don't belong to yours. So here it says, yo que voy a saber. So she said, so what am I going to know? So what do I know? Kind of like.
El jueves, por primera vez en muchos años, escuché con el corazón en la boca cómo durante más de 4 horas.
So on Thursday, I sat there with my heart in my throat for about 4 hours, during 4 hours.
Culiacán fue zona de guerra.
Culiacan, Sinaloa was a war zone.
Vi mi tierra arder.
And I saw my land on fire and burn.
Vi mi familia, mis amigos, siendo rehenes de la.
And I saw that my people, my friends and family were being used as hostages for the narcotics traffickers
La delincuencia. La
and
información
delinquents.
era confusa.
The information was confusing.
En un operativo habían atrapado a los hijos del Chapo.
So apparently, in the some kind of operation, they had trapped the sons of El Chapo,
A Iván Arcibaldo y Ovidio Guzmán.
Iván Archibaldo and Ovidio Guzman.
Después, unos audios filtrados en redes nos dijeron
And then after that, some audio tapes that were filtered in the webs let us know that
que al Iván ya lo habían soltado,
they had already let go of Ivan,
pero que faltaba Ovidio.
but that Ovidio was still pending.
Luego, fuimos testigos del cártel extendiendo todo
And then we were witnesses to the cartel extending
su poderío
all their forces
para rescatar al ratón.
to rescue the rat. He's known as the ratón, the rat, or mouse.
Sitió la ciudad, incendió las calles,
So the city, in the city was the site, and they blocked the streets, and they liberated some prisoners from the jail de Aguaruto.
liberó presos de la cárcel de Aguaruto. Se dice que por orden del Mayo Zambada,
And it was said that it was by the order of Mayo Zambada.
cientos de refuerzos bajaron de la sierra
And hundreds of reinforcements came down from the hill
con la instrucción de incendiarlo todo si no
with the order to burn it all
soltaban a Ovidio.
if they did not let Ovidio go.
No está claro quién dio la orden,
It is not clear who gave that order,
pero después de más de 4 horas de
but after more than 4 hours of terror
terror en las calles de la ciudad,
in the city's streets,
el hijo del capo fue liberado.
they liberated the son of El Chapo.
Pocos huevos fue lo menos que le dijeron a Andrés Manuel.
And the least of what they said to the president was that he had little balls.
Las críticas sobre su debilidad estratégica llenaron las redes.
And the critiques over his strategic planning or works was all over the web.
Una enorme fila de expertos en
There was an enormous line of experts that had put their 2 cents in. Here he says, military forces with an order not to shoot versus civilians that were armed. Incredible to your level of stupidity. And idiot, pendejes is like being a real idiot. And the lack of balls. Or he has no balls, basically.
seguridad nacional opinaron.
And people were giving their opinion regarding national security. And this one says, no, this is not the fault of Calderón. This is not the fault, or this is the fault of the terrible strategy for security of López Obrador. Accept it and solve it. You wanted to sit on the chair, now you got it.
Sobre el tema. Sí,
And these were the things they said over the matter. But I'm going to add here also, another thing that was said was by the ex-president Fox. He said something like, oh, what are you going to do? Go tell their mommies and their grandmas? Are you going to go tell on them? Tell them to behave. Why don't you? So they were making fun of the fact that Obrador was appealing to the young people that they need to not misbehave because it brings embarrassment and shame to their families. And in the Mexican culture, if someone said they were going to tell your mom or your grandma, with the strict corporal punishment we used to have, we knew we better behave. And so this was a great strategy for people to say, I'm going to tell your mom or your grandma. So a lot of Mexican people can understand this kind of thinking.
Para las autoridades no había forma sencilla de salir de ese asunto.
And for the authorities, there was no simple way to get out of this matter.
Pero lo que tengo claro es que no había una sola posibilidad de que las Fuerzas Armadas ganaran esa confrontación
But what we did know was that there was not a single way that the armed forces were going to win this battle
en Culiacán. Al menos
in Culiacan.
no sin que la ciudad se llenara de sangre.
But not, at least, not without filling the whole city with blood.
La amenaza del cártel fue muy clara.
The threat from the cartel was very clear.
Estaban dispuestos a destruir Culiacán.
They were disposed, or they had decided to destroy Culiacan
Si no liberaban a su patrón.
if they did not liberate their boss.
Irían contra todos.
They would go against everyone.
Entre esos todos está mi familia y
And amongst all of those was my family and mine
mis amigos.
and my friends.
Así que para mí, esto no es una cosa de ver quién tiene más.
So for me, this is not a matter of figuring out who's got the biggest balls,
Huevos, si el cártel o el gobierno.
the cartel or the government,
Porque además ya lo vimos con Calderón. Se
because we have already seen this with Calderón.
les combatió de frente y aún
He combated them head on,
estamos contando los muertos
and we're still counting the dead
que dejaron a su paso.
that they left in their path.
Y no estoy pidiendo que los dejen hacer lo que quieran,
And I am not asking that they allow them to do whatever they want.
pero es un hecho que la llamada estrategia del capo, esa que busca
So, but this is something that the strategy of Chapo
combatir al narco eliminando a los objetivos de
wants us to combat narcotic trafficking by
alto perfil, no
keeping a high-level profile. It didn't work.
funciona. No necesitamos ser expertos en seguridad nacional
We don't need to be experts in national security
para entender eso.
to understand this.
Hemos visto fracasar esa estrategia año
We have seen this strategy fail for many years,
tras año.
year after year.
En el sexenio de Calderón se detuvieron a 11 grandes capos, entre
So in the 6-year term of Calderón, they detained 6 great big mafia leaders like Capo or Chapo.
ellos Vicente Zambada, Heriberto Las
So one of them was Vicente Zambada. This one is Heriberto
Cano,
Descano,
Sandra Ávila,
Sandra Ávila,
Alfredo y Arturo
Alfredo and Arturo,
Leiva, el
Train Leiva,
Homer, Vicente
Vicente
Carrillo,
Carrillo,
mataron a Nacho Coronel.
and they killed Nacho Coronel.
Con Peña Nieto
And with Peña Nieto,
se fijaron 122 objetivos
they fixated on 122 objectives of high profile.
de alto perfil. En su sexenio
During their 6-year term,
vimos caer al Z40,
we saw 740, Z740 fall,
al Z42,
Z742,
al licenciado,
the attorney,
a Nazario Moreno, a
Nazario Moreno,
Quique Plancarte, a Servando Gómez Latuta y,
Servando Gómez Latuta,
por supuesto, al Chapo.
and Chapo.
¿Ganamos?
Did we win?
Imaginen que Andrés Manuel se pone firme,
Imagine that if Andrés Manuel had remained firm,
que decide que no permitirá que el cártel se sienta
and that if he decided that he would not permit the cartel to feel
más poderoso
that they were more powerful
que el gobierno,
than the government,
que la fuerza del Estado no se doblega ante unos
that the force of the state would not bend under the control of
delincuentes.
some
Imaginemos
delinquents.
que no
So imagine that
sueltan al Ovidio porque
they do not let go of Ovidio,
eso sería hacer el ridículo y
because that would be ridiculous.
el gobierno será lo que sea, pero
But the government is what it is, but
no es el hazmerreír de nadie.
it doesn't do the bidding of anyone. And then what?
¿Y luego? ¿Qué hacemos con los culichis
What would we do with the people from Culiacan, Culichis, that would have been running scared and trying to find refuge?
que corrían asustados tratando de refugiarse? ¿Qué hacemos con las madres con los niños en brazos?
What would we do with the mothers with their babies in their arms?
¿Qué hacemos con todos los que con esa decisión
What would we do with all those that, with that decision,
habrían sido condenados a arder en medio
would be forced to burn in the middle
del fuego cruzado
of the fire
por la simple mala
that was caused by the simple misfortune
fortuna de haber estado ahí?
of being in the wrong place at the wrong time?
Que se chinguen, pero al Ovidio no lo soltamos.
They would have said, let them die, well, collateral damage, but we're not letting go of Ovidio.
Es que es muy fácil exigir toda la fuerza del Estado
Because it is very simple to demand all the force of the state
cuando los madrazos están lejos.
when the blows are far from you.
Sí, creo que hubo muchas cosas mal en ese
Yes, I think there was a lot of things, bad things that happened
operativo. Podrían
in that operation.
enumerarlas y me faltaría tiempo
And I could enumerate them and it would take some time
para todas. Pero
for each one.
también creo que es sabio elegir las batallas.
But it's also wise to pick your battles.
Si Andrés Manuel hubiera antepuesto su ego por
But if Andres Manuel had imposed his ego
encima de la seguridad civil
above the civil safety,
y si hubiera tomado una decisión distinta a la que se
and if he had taken a different route or decision than the one that he made,
tomó, hoy estaríamos hablando de una ciudad sitiada y
and then we would be talking about a city that was situated,
muy probablemente yo no tuviera esta foto.
and I would most probably not have this picture of my family. And then she says, and what am I going to know? Or what do I know? Very interesting, right? And I agree. I really like how they put that together. I think it was very well done. And I'm in agreement, definitely. My family survived it, and my brother had a close call. He had to elude to try and get around where they were shooting, because that's how close they were. So for me, it touched home, and my brother sent me the videos that I made with the other video that I made was from the videos from his phone. So I know this was the right thing to do. And Mexico and he's got a higher approval rating now. People know that when he says something, he means it. And he's out to protect people. And he's not, and so far everything he said he's done. And he is fighting corruption, and he is giving free education, and he is giving free health care and medication. He is giving an increase, double the money for the elderly. He is opening new hospitals, getting personnel for each new hospital, allowing the people to build their roads, and giving them all the materials to build the roads in the 570 municipalities of Oaxaca and the rest of the country. There's so much more that he's doing, and it's an example, I think, of what can be done when a person really cares about their people and their country. And I believe that AMLO is someone that's going to be remembered in history because of his wisdom. And I'm going to tell you one thing, that I believe that of the people that are running in the U.S. for president, there is one that is like him, that has been fighting for civil rights, that wants to give or has said he will give free education, free health care, um, or abolish the debts of the students too. Many of the things that AMLO does, Bernie did as well, and I think he's the right guy for America to get out of the mess, because if we keep going the way we're going, everything's going to be privatized. What's left of education, already the pharmaceuticals and the hospitals have control of everything. Drug companies, insurance companies. There's so much corruption in the U.S., and we need to root it out. Thanks a lot. Bye.